G'day there guys, and to the other camera, welcome back to In My Shed. I'm BC. It's now Tuesday and been reminiscing on what happened yesterday. I got the old girl grinding. Well, sort of. It gave me a good bath of coolant. Luckily that's not very toxic. And we come up with some problems. I'll zoom you in to show you. I got a bit of grief in the finish. I think it's a 46 group wheel, but even with the spark out pass, I didn't get what I expected. And I've seen surface grinding jobs done by tool makers with a 46 group wheel, and they've been quite satisfactory. A very good finish. So no, not happy with the finish. Cutting rate with that wheel, it rips the material off like I don't mind. I'm very, very happy with that. Now I'm going to investigate what's going on. The setup I've got to eliminate. So first thing will be dial indicator off here and check out the wanky wank from the dead centres. So far, look, it's as firm as a hard poo. I don't think I've got any trouble there. So really I don't know where my problems are coming from. It's an unusual grind too. It's a coarse grind, but it's also a little bit ropey, as if I'm feeding too fast, and like I'm doing 5 or 6 turns per wheel width, or I estimate that, which is usually enough. I can slow it down a bit, and I might do that. No, it's right down low. Anyway, I must have turned that back as I disengaged it. Yeah, so there's a few things to try. Dressing the wheel is one. See if it comes good with a nice fresh lot of grain. Although I've had a close look at the wheel and I can't see that it's loaded up. There are a few little shiny spots which to me indicate a glazed wheel, and that could be the case. I don't know what the hell was done beforehand, and I suppose step one is dress the wheel up. I was just too anxious and too excited to get the thing running. So I'll bring you in a sec with the camera up close, and I've gone back to the newer Panasonic with the external mic. I think I may have the auto gain control and the audio gain underhand now. I'm pretty sure that that'll be operational, and I've got the second camera running just in case there is trouble, called a B-shot. It'll be interesting to see what I come up with, and surprisingly there's quite a burr on the end of the shaft. Now that I didn't expect, not with a cylindrical grinder. Although in tool and cutter grinding you do get some burr, so you know, it's a little bit hard to comprehend what's going on. How does the machine feel? Well, once I got over my fears, I've never run one before, it's quite a different machine to run, and something I always keep in mind is that that's a very, very rigid setup, and that's an awful lot of mass spinning around. I don't want to jam things in there and have it go bang. Even with that wheel guard around it, I'm too close to what could happen. That'll get a little bit better as I get more experience, but I don't want to get complacent. It's a bit too bloody deadly for that. Anyway, I'll bring you around. You can have a look at what the surface finish is like and what I do to try and troubleshoot it and correct it. Back with it in a minute. Okay, back again at the workpiece. And it might not be overly discernible in that light. I'll move the camera just a touch, but I don't know I'll improve it. And it does, improves at 100%. Okay, to describe the finish, it's probably about the equivalent to a 46 grit bench grinder wheel or a coarse linisher belt, and if you can discern, I think you can see there's almost a threaded appearance. Now you can't feel any sort of threaded work on it, and you can feel usually half a thou, and there's nothing there whatsoever. So yeah, scratching my head. And as I said, there's quite a big burr on the end of the bar. Yep, and one at the other end. So I have no idea what's going on with that. Back up again. I can get in there a little bit. I know that's shining off the dial gauge, but if something moves, I'll let you know. Okay, well that's 1/100th of a millimetre. And it appears there's nothing there. I think the movement is just from the crappy finish. No, nothing's loose. And we'll move it up a little bit. Same story. Look, I can't blame the setup there at all. And if the workpiece isn't moving, there'll be no slop in the quill. So all I can do is scratch my head, take the machine apart, have a bit of a look piece by piece, and bring you in if I see anything. Bye for now. Today we're back again. This is taking 2,000 off the diameter, or 1,000 feet per part. Got the sold, adjust the wheel very tentatively. I'm taking a couple of tenths at a time, and in the end half a thou. And it's not perfect, but as near as done as I've got for a while. I'm still taking what I would assume to be roughing cuts. As I'm only learning, I'm trying to keep my ears out. I'm getting a lot less splashing. The nails take the filament line differently. I also aligned the ladle to the mark. I'm gradually on the scale, and I say it's pretty close to what the work is in line, so I'll measure it up and then do some tests myself. This is the best stuff to set it up the way it is. Really well. I will swap out the cooling nozzles for a proper wide flat nozzle. I don't know how many thousands left to go at the other end of the travel. Which looks as near as down to be there, but there's still quite a step on the shaft. I'm really surprised how much difference the dressing made, and the wheel didn't look crooked, so I would say the wheel was glazed, not loaded. That's getting all better. This one's a bit more cylinders on now. know there's lots of things they should be doing. So always out there in the audience with years of field experience and some industry grinding, please send me some info. As it's very close to lunch, I'll just give it 2/10 for the next in-feed, and we'll see what the finish comes out like. There's just a light sparkler coming out underneath it. Oh wow, that's looking good. I just let the wheel dry out a little bit before I turn it off. I'm definitely not putting a rag in there to wipe off the suds while it's running. I've had a rag picked up by the lathe a couple of times and you don't have any time to get your finger out of the way. That suds running. We can safely take the shields away, take it out. And I'd say it's dry enough for the wheel. Right. Let's zoom you in there a little bit. And that is what it looks like. Very, very slight grainy appearance. I have seen better, almost chrome-like finishes before. The burr is reduced at each end substantially. I'm pleased with that. Originally I bought this machine for changing the diameter on cutters or making up subland drills or counterbores. And once I get a collar chuck set up in there, I'm confident that this is going to be the bee's knees. Okay guys, I'm heading off to get a feed. I'll talk to you later on. Okay, we're back again. Managed to clean up the whole shaft. I did an adjustment roughly with a dial indicator on the taper for the shaft. So we'll see what we get this time. I'm not expecting it to be too good, but a lot better than what I was getting. I've taken about another 24th hour off it. .28.5 70.5. .74. .76. So that gives me 0.06 millimetre taper for that length of shaft, which is pretty damn good. I'll see if I can squeeze a bit more out of it. 0.3 over 10 inches. I'm going to have to move the table about 1/100 of a millimetre. Suffering Jesus. Okay, I'll bring some gear and see what we can do. I'm just using the lighting coming in the door, which I hope is good enough. I never thought I would be working to very fast as a measurement, but I have to go away 1/100 of a millimetre. And I'm going to say that's good enough. We'll tighten it all up and give it a go. Now I've backed off the end feed about 10 thou, so it might take me a little while to pick it up. And this is a very rigid machine, it's holding the adjustment very well. Okay. I'll bring you back after the game so the splash shields up, you won't see too much now. And as promised, I shot the wheelways, or the oil on the cableways rather. For starters, look how substantial they are for a machine doing light force work like grinding, but you can still see the original flaking. I'm quite impressed with that. The hydraulics from the hydraulic pump run over the top, and the manual advises you not to work the table manually without the hydraulic pump running, because this is old-fashioned levitation. It pumps the table up and prevents a bit of wear. Well guys, here we are. Don't need that one anymore. I hope I'm still visible with that, the lights, etc. I'm happy where it is. I have quite a lot of other work to do today, including a bit of fabrication, which you definitely don't want to see me fabricating. That's a bit of an eyesore. I think the coolant is going to work out okay. It looks like it's even neutralised some of the rust that was already on there. The trough system around the wheel head works quite well. I still have a little bit of sorting. I noticed that both the angular scales on the wheel head and the scales for the table traverse, this has got an upper and lower swivel, both not on zero by a couple of degrees. I don't know how much difference that makes, but if you're chasing that last fairy's fart, I think I will get every little fairy's fart needs to get it there. Good. I'm learning now that 1/100 of a millimetre here equals 2 or 3/100 of a millimetre over that length. I've just got a little bit of adjustment to do. I'd say it's well on the way. I'll get on with my other work. Please, if you haven't been here before, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.